Artemis Fowl and Fables are both getting movies made, and I've got two new web series that I think you'll all enjoy. All of this coming up on this week's
Wide World of Geek.
Hi there everyone, it's Baka here and welcome to episode number 39 of the Wide World of Geek, where we look at what's new and newsworthy in the world of geek this week. Now, it came to the attention of the internet over the past week or so that Disney will be making a new movie series, a new juvenile fantasy-based series that they are hoping will be as big or bigger than the Harry Potter series. What I'm speaking of is Artemis Fowl. Now, Artemis Fowl is a book series written by author Owen Colfer, and it follows the exploits of a young human genius, criminal mastermind, however you want to call him, who uses his knowledge to discover the world of fairy and forces these fairy folk to help him in his exploits, and he ends up helping them in their exploits. And you get to watch his character evolve over time from someone who was just a basic criminal, albeit a very, very smart criminal, to being someone of good character and high moral values. Now, Disney has really gone out of their way to try to make this as Harry Potter-esque as possible. They've got Harvey Weinstein and Robert De Niro producing this. They've brought in a Harry Potter scriptwriter, trying to get the biggest Harry Potter film ever. And they feel like this could be even bigger than Harry Potter. I hate to disappoint you guys. Harry Potter was already a huge phenomenon in book form. While Artemis Fowl is popular, it is nowhere near Harry Potter level popular. Will these movies be good? I sure hope so. I love the Artemis Fowl series. But we'll see. I don't believe it's going to be as big as Harry Potter. Now, also in movie news, much beloved graphic novel comic book series Fables, written by Bill Willingham with art by Mark Buckingham, has been greenlit by Warner Brothers to have a movie made off of it. Now, this has long been in talks of this happening. First, it was going to be a TV series, and then they kind of stalled on that, and all of a sudden we had Once Upon a Time and Grimm out there. With those two being as strong as they are, there's really not a spot for Fables in TV form. So they're deciding to go movie form. And this has the potential to be huge, but with a 2-hour time base, they're going to have to be very picky and choosy about what story they do. Sure, there's plenty of room for sequels. They've got plenty of characters to choose from. Sticking with Snow White and Bigby Wolf for the first movie would be excellent, because as artist Mark Buckingham said, for the first 50 issues or so, it was all about those two. Now, I have great hopes for this. Warner Brothers, I think, will know exactly what to do with this, as long as it doesn't become a action-packed spoof on fairy tales and treats it with the respect that the comic book series does. It can be great. Now, I've got two new web series that are out that have both come out in the last week that I'd like to bring your attention to. The first is the Season 2 premiere of Video Game High School. Now, Video Game High School is a web series created by Freddie Wong and his production company Rocket Jump. And it follows the story of high school gamers Brian D., Keith Swan, and Ted Wong as they try to survive in a high school based completely around video games, where you are not learning your basic high school stuff. You're learning how to be the best gamer possible in whatever field it is. Now, the core of this is the first-person shooter aspect. That's what Brian D. plays. That's what his love interest, Jenny Matrix, plays. And that's where it's the heaviest, because that's also where you get some of the coolest CG, where you get to actually see what it would be like if you were really in one of these Counter-Strike or Call of Duty type games. You do get some really cool drift racing, and you get some fun rhythm guitar type moments. I'm excited for the second season. I've been looking forward to it since watching every episode of the first season as it came out. The other web series I'd like to bring to mind is a animated web series called Broken Quest. Now this is brought to us by those wonderful people over at Polaris, who I mentioned just a couple weeks ago is the rebranding of the game station. And this is really, as Polaris, their first major thing. Now they did have a really cool Pacific Rim Jaegers versus Kaiju kind of fan film that they did that even had Guillermo del Toro in it. But this is kind of what the rebranding is all about. You know, let's be creative, let's push it to see what we can really do. Now this series stars Mike Husky Starcraft Lamont, Dodger Lee, Davis from the Warp Zone, Jesse Cox, Rosanna Pansino, and it follows a band of adventurers as they're trying to get the leader of their group's girlfriend back from the evil, I don't know, is he a prince? Is he a count? Is he a duke? From Sid, who's played by Davis. They're all idiots, and it's hilarious. It's completely over the top. Jesse Cox's voice as the Goat Slug is ridiculous, as every voice that Jesse Cox does is, but it's a really fun time. So I hope you guys will go and check them out. I'll put links down below for both of those web series. Now, one last thing I would like to talk about is the comic book show I've been promising you guys. Last Friday we had Baca's Top 5 Speedsters. This week we will be having the very first episode of this new comic book show. And as I say this, I'm still not certain on a title, so I might be asking you guys for a title for this thing. Now, it's going to be a very open-ended show. Topics will vary week to week. It's not going to be about comic book news. I might talk a little bit here and there about current storylines, but mostly it's going to be a fan's love of comics. If I'm lucky, there might be some interviews in there with some comic creators, but we'll see. So I hope you guys will enjoy that, and until next week, this is Baca, and I'll see you guys later.